So the Epic Raid came out a couple of days ago, and it was an unbelievably awesome experience. It was really fun. I think the raid and dungeon team is at the top of their game, which really kind of is unfortunate for the rest of the core game experience, and that leading to fewer players being interested. But man, Desert Perpetual is in an unbelievable experience, and I highly recommend, if you can find people to run it with, that you go do the normal and the Epic Raid, because truly some of the most unique mechanics and fights and encounters ever, and really good loot and a really good story, and it was just a phenomenal experience. So we get done with that, and I was just like ready to get back into Destiny. I haven't been playing a lot over the last 2 months. I've been playing a lot of Destiny Rising, some Borderlands 4. I've been traveling a lot, and so man, I was just ready. I was just full throttle, ready to hop back in. And yesterday or the day before, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna hit 500 light. Let's grind. And then I hit this freaking screen, man. And immediately I hit the same brick wall that I hit halfway through Edge of Fate, like, 2 months ago, that I hit a couple weeks ago with Ash and Iron. And it's just like, man, I think there are some very good ideas in the portal. And I think there are, especially for, the reduced size of Bungie and the reduced scope of Destiny currently and that sort of thing. I think there are some pretty good ideas in the portal, but the execution it's just too much, and it becomes very overwhelming and kind of annoying and not fun. And I want to talk about a couple of my biggest grievances with this system, because I see a lot of people just saying like, oh, the portal should be destroyed or scrapped or walked back, and I don't really think any of that is possible. But I definitely think things need to change, because if a player like myself that has a billion hours in Destiny and knows how Destiny works and et cetera, is not enjoying this game, I cannot imagine this screen is fun for literally anyone else to look at. So the first thing I want to talk about, and I have not heard anyone, like any of my fellow creators, talk about this, and admittedly I haven't watched every video, but I've been trying to watch a couple videos today to make sure I'm not like repeating every talking point that my friends have already said. But this is too much, man. I really love the idea of player agency, and I really love some of these modifiers, and I think they are very fun for harder game modes like GMs, like if you think about how it was before Edge of Fate. But every time I load up Destiny and I want to do a different activity, having to put like min-max my modifiers and my difficulty, and it gets even harder if you're with a friend that's at a different light level, and it's like, okay, this is only B, I'm only getting a tier 4, and then it's like, okay, but now I'm 70 light, I'm 40 light under, and it's just like, man, I don't want to have to solve like a calculus 3, linear algebra equation to play and get my rewards. I hate this banner. I hate the score projection system. None of this makes sense to me, and I've known about the portal longer than like most non-devs alive, due to community summits and stuff. I've had more time to digest this information and try to understand this information than most people, and I still don't understand it, and it's changing like every week, and some of the changes they double down on, and some of them they walk back, and I have literally no idea what a B+ means right now. Like, does this mean with the bonus objective? Oh, that's only in solo content, right? If we go fast enough, I'll get a tier 5, I think, maybe, I don't know. There are changes coming, but man, this screen is so overwhelming, and I really cannot stress enough how much I miss the days of just picking an activity and going into it. Like Civ. Like going into Civ and just doing the mechanics, and it's just got whatever world difficulty and modifiers that Bungie throws on it, and it's just fine. It's just like, I don't have to think about it. I just go in there and I kill stuff and I do mechanics and I have a good time. Old stuff, the Nether or the Coil, I just launched in and I started playing. There wasn't a barrier of entry. Man, I cannot describe adequately the negative feelings I have towards this screen, which really sucks because I can't stress this enough. Having player agency over certain activities is really cool, and some of these modifiers are genuinely very fun. The first time I was in a conquest and I took damage and I turned into a bomb and I was like freaking out. My teammate had to come revive me, and then we had to like kind of juggle that because we both kept getting turned into bombs by almost dying. Like, I know some people don't like that modifier. I think that's pretty funny and pretty cool. And stuff like that is perfect for like GM type content where it's like, you know, pinnacle end game stuff, pretty efficient farms, but you have to deal with some like really unique modifiers. Like, do you guys remember mini screebs? Like, essentially what the Banes are now, a lot of them started off as custom modifiers for GMs, and that's cool. I have no interest in picking my modifiers every time. And if I just load into the playlists that are pre-made here, I don't even think I get good, because this is only B, and that gives me tier 4, and I don't think that gives me tier 5. And if it does, this just goes to show how like confusing this system is. Like, I just don't. Man. The next thing is, I think it is cool, especially for the reduced size of Bungie and the fact that we're getting like less content. I think it's cool that some older content is relevant to play. That is something that, for whatever reason, Reddit wants you to believe used to be a thing, but was never a thing. Once Revenant launched, I was never going back to Breach Executable. Once Heresy launched, I was never going back to Onslaught Salvation. Now it is cool in theory to have a reason to go back to something from Season of the Chosen or Season of the Wish, or you know what I mean? Like, years and years and years of content here that rotate in and out. Things are relevant, some things aren't. In my opinion, these need unique loot. I need a reason to go do the warrior specifically. I do not like that all of this stuff drops the exact same stuff as the new content. Old content should serve as a supplemental farm or power grind or whatever to new content, in my opinion. When Edge of Fate launched and the Civ was on the map and it wasn't in the portal, and it only is relevant up to power level 200. Same thing with time lapse missions. That is a huge L, because that leaves only solo ops being the only relevant new content for the first 2 months of Edge of Fate, which are not interesting or dynamic enough or fun enough to support being like the core activity for a season. And they didn't have like unique loot. Like, there's no reason for me to run creation over Caldera except for a couple like weekly challenges or whatever, right? That is a huge miss, in my opinion. This is exactly the type of place where something like strike specific loot would have been very interesting. Oh, creation has a unique drop that you can only get there, so you have to spend time farming it. Something like that. That would have been kind of cool. Reclaim came out with Ash and Iron, and it's A, longer than a lot of these things, so why am I running it? And then B, it's just not a super interesting activity, you know what I mean? And then add on to that the fact that when I launch it, I have to put on like 50, 100 different things, and it's like, I have no idea what the I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this, okay? I like the idea of old content being relevant and being exciting to farm, but I don't think the current version of the portal does that in a very good way. The last thing, man, and I know I'm just beating on a dead horse here, but sheesh, I really don't like the portal screen. I like the main page here. I think this is cool. I like having easy access to the tower. I like having the news up here when it pops up here. I don't even mind having quick access to the playlists. This screen that changes for events and like the seasonal hub, and then I can launch like whatever events like currently up and stuff. Like, I like this screen. I like the event screen. I like a lot of that stuff, but man, I am just not a big fan of these screens at all. And I raised this concern like a month before Edge of Fate even came out. It just feels so disconnected from the game. And so when I go from running one of the coolest activities in the franchise and feeling really, oh, this is in this specific place on this specific planet. Oh, it's got its own unique icon. It's got, hey, it has customizable modifiers, but only a couple, and they're very, very specific. They never change, and it's not overwhelming. And it's very clear how this affects your rewards, something that is not true for the portal. This feels so much better than this. And I know, you know, they're worried about new players and returning players, and I totally get that. But man, I cannot express how soulless this screen feels compared to the majesty that is this. And I know that's such like a whiny complaint maybe, or a back in my day complaint or whatever, but man, it's just an extra layer. Like when I log onto this screen, I'm like, man, this doesn't look fun. And then I click on this and I'm like, oh, this doesn't give me unique rewards. And it's a new activity that I know isn't really that interesting and doesn't really have anything unique to farm. And then I click on this screen and it's just like, oh man, by the time I get here, I'm 3 layers of negativity deep, and it's like, forget it. Okay. The only thing I'm really interested in farming in this game currently is the raid, and it's quite difficult to get people to do that a lot of the time. So that's kind of where my head's at with the portal system. I don't know. I know what they were going for, but I think they went too far, and I don't want them to lose some of the core ideas. Like, I want old content to be relevant. We were finally getting that with the raids, right? Like with a lot of the raids being reissued with adept weapons. That was cool, and I would like to see something like that with the feat system and with tier 5 weapons and armor and set bonuses. You know, go back and revamp some of the older raids. Even give them an epic version. I know that's like a whole nother level of work, but I would love to see that. Old content being relevant is a good thing, but they have to have a unique chase, a unique reason to do them, and they have to be, and I cannot stress this enough, they have to be supplemental to new content. They cannot be the main focus or have an equal share of the focus. And I think that is so important, and something that was completely lost with the Edge of Fate, whether that's due to a lack of development time or resources or just an oversight, whatever the reason is. It was a huge miss with the portal system, in my opinion. And you have to streamline launching into an activity. I should be able to just launch into a presage with 2 clicks and have something unique to farm and it benefit me in a meaningful way. That's my opinion. Let me know what you guys think down below. Did I miss anything? Do you disagree with anything I said? Yeah, make sure you subscribe. Have a great day, and I love your faces. See ya.